Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Exploring Careers. You're joined by me, Mitch, from the team here at Explore Careers. And today we're lucky enough to be joined by Edan from the team at Moorabool Shire Council. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Excited to get stuck into this one. So before we get started, for people who don't know or might not have heard of Moorabool Shire Council, can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Moorabool Shire Council, it's a pretty regional, small council that covers quite a wide area, actually. It's Bathurst Marsh, the land, goes out to almost Ballarat, like just before Ballarat it stops, Blackwood, so there's a lot of regional towns.
Okay, so you're looking after that whole area,
Yes.
the ins and outs. You guys are the wheels making it all work within the area. Perfect.
Yeah.
And what is your role there? What is your day-to-day role?
I'm the people and culture training, so I work with like HR and payroll, OHS, organisational development, and just assisting them with what they need help with and all that.
Perfect. So what does a typical day look like for you? Is it a typical 9 to 5? Are you doing different things? Can you talk us through that a little bit?
Yeah, 8:30 to 5, and go in. I'm still training, obviously, so I've only really been there a month, so I'm still getting into a lot of it, but I do purchase orders. I've got an organisational structure that I've been doing, so that's mapping out the whole organisation for the things. Like ordering name badges, flowers, business cards, doing all of that. The newsletter, we do a weekly people and culture newsletter, so I take care of that as well. So there's just a lot of emailing people, following up, getting information, and recording that information.
Perfect. So how did you mentioned you've only been there a month or so now.
Yeah.
So how did you come into Moorabool Shire Council? What was your kind of career journey to this point?
I live in Bathurst Marsh, so obviously I've always known about the council. And I actually worked for 3 years at a fast food company. But it just kind of got to the point where I had to have a change and all that, wanted to start an actual career for myself. So I was online a lot, and I've been interested in local government for a while. And when I saw the traineeship come up, it was just perfect for me, honestly.
Perfect. And now you've been obviously with Moorabool, as we've touched on, about a month now. So you're starting to get used to it slowly but surely. What's your favourite thing? I know you've still got a lot to learn and a lot to experience, given you're still pretty new. But so far, what's your favourite part about working at Moorabool, do you think?
Just the people, honestly. Like, everyone's so lovely to you never feel left down or like being looked down on or anything. It's just a really lovely environment.
Great, I love that. And what are some of the misconceptions and preconceptions people might have, or what's kind of struck you as being something a bit unexpected? Because I think with working in local government or local council, people would have a very narrow view of what it actually is. So what struck you as being a bit different, or what most people wouldn't normally think about when thinking about careers in local council?
Just the sheer amount of jobs there. Like, as I said, I'm doing the organisational structure, so I've literally been listing out every single job, everyone who works there. And the amount of people it goes into and all the little jobs and all of that. Like, I think when you think of councils, you mostly think of like the rates and the roads. I feel like they're the main two that you think of, but there's just so much going on all the time.
No, that's absolutely right. We've been working with Moorabool for a number of years now at Explore Careers, and it's amazed me the breadth of opportunity that's available, and I don't think it's available anywhere else really, because you can literally go anywhere and do anything. The opportunities really are limitless, which I think is fantastic. And what about, you mentioned before the people and how great the people are, and you love working with your teammates, all the rest of it. So can you talk to us a bit more about the work culture, what it's like? Does it help you maintain a healthy work-life balance? Can you talk to us a bit about that?
I guess that's the thing. Obviously, at the end, it is 8:30 to 5. It's a half-hour break and all of that. but it is very much you work within those hours. They don't try and build you into staying behind or doing more work, because I've had experience with that previously. And they're very much, if you, like, I got COVID a few weeks ago, which was fun, but they were very understanding and log off if you need to take some time to yourself. I'm working from home today, they've got great flexibility with that as well, which is amazing.
Perfect. No, that's great to hear. We love to hear, especially now, so more than probably ever before, that work flexibility and that healthy work-life balance is just so important to people these days. And it's obviously something which Moorable are providing, which is absolutely fantastic. So what advice would you give to people? So anyone who's kind of listening to this and is keen on potentially starting a career with Moorable specifically, or in their own local government or local municipality, why would you say to jump into it and go for it, do you think?
Honestly, it's great. You get so much experience from places that, like with the traineeship, I went into it thinking that the worst outcome is that I have a year of experience and the qualification. Like, that's a pretty good worst case scenario. So you get the experience, you learn so much about things that you don't even think of, obviously, and it's a good career, honestly. I'm really excited to further mine.
Exactly. So, and you're going through the traineeship at the moment, so you're able to learn on the job whilst getting paid at the same time, which is always great. And it sounds like they're creating an environment, or have created an environment, where you're going to want to stay long after your traineeship. With the traineeship, would that be a fair comment, that you'd be keen to stay and continue to grow and develop your career with Moorable?
Yeah, definitely.
Perfect. So, and what attributes do you think people need to have? So, for any young people similar to yourself who are at the beginning of their career journey and wanting to, I guess, start potentially with Moorable, what attributes do you think somebody needs to show or demonstrate to help them in the start of their career journey?
I think the main thing is, like, being the hard worker, obviously, like any job, that's what they want. Working individually and within a team, because it is a very team-based environment, but you've also got to be able to go off and do things on your own and have the initiative to do some things and all of that, and just listening to people.
I think that's great advice, and I couldn't agree more. As long as you're willing to have a good work ethic and give things a crack, I think that's all you need.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the foundations for a good starting base. Now, last question I want to leave you on is, what advice would you give to students just generally, or young Australians potentially watching this today? Because obviously you mentioned before how you're not too long out of school, and you worked a bit in the hospitality field before you kind of found your way and that type of thing. So for people who are in a similar boat, finishing up their schooling, trying to work out what they're going to do in the future, it's obviously a very stressful time trying to figure out what you're going to do, what subjects you're going to study, where you're going to work, all that type of stuff. What advice would you give to any young people watching this, knowing what you know now?
I think that this one is honestly just take a breath sometimes. Just step back. Doing something is always better than doing nothing at all, and if you try and do everything at once, you're going to burn out. Like, it's just kind of inevitable. So take it slow, break things down. And I'm not a massive person of, like, fate in the universe and all of that, but I can look back now at the things that I thought were just major disappointments to me and see how much they've helped me and how good they were in hindsight. So just expect the unexpected as well. And you'll get there. You will be fine.
Exactly. No, I think that's some great advice. Keep an open mind. Give things a crack. Try some things, even if it's not for you. Try some different things. You never know. And things that you might have been interested in once upon a time might not be relevant to you later down the track, and vice versa. So no, that's fantastic advice. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been so fantastic chatting to you. Of course, if you do want to learn more about Moorable Shire Council, and all the different career opportunities available and how you can get started in a career with local government or Moorabool specifically, please do visit explorecareers.com.au and find your way to the Moorabool Shire Council website. We've got all the information you could possibly need there, all the links, everything you need to get started. But Edan, again, thank you so much for your time today. It's been so amazing chatting to you.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely.